今日もお疲れ様でした。英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
A bear entered a building in central Aomori City on the afternoon of May 15th. City officials have set a box trap, believing the bear is holed up inside. Police have cordoned off the area, restricting access. This site is hundreds of meters from the prefectural office. Multiple bear sightings were reported nearby on the same day.
Japan's national football team for next month's World Cup in North America has been announced. 26 players were chosen, mainly key players active in Europe, including Takifusa Kubo and Ritsudoan. However, Kaworu Mitoma and Takumi Minamino were not selected for the squad.
Wakana Yamazaki, a renowned voice actress, passed away on April 18th at age 61 due to illness. She was best known for her roles as Ran Mori, the heroine in the popular anime Detective Conan, and the third-generation Akko in Himitsu no Akko-chan.
In a bus accident on the Banetsu Expressway in Fukushima, where high school students were killed or injured, investigators believe the suspect made no evasive maneuvers, such as steering. It is also suggested a guardrail penetrated the bus body. Police are investigating the cause of the incident.
U.S. President Donald Trump concluded his official visit to China on May 15th. On his final day, he visited Zhongnanhai in central Beijing. President Trump shared tea and lunch with Chinese President Xi Jinping, where they exchanged views on various matters.
Tokyo announced emergency measles vaccinations starting May 18th due to an outbreak with 239 cases since January, the highest in a decade. These free vaccinations are for people exposed within 72 hours who lack prior measles history or have unclear single vaccination status.
On May 15th, long-term interest rates in the bond market rose to 2.73%, the highest in 29 years. This rapid increase is driven by concerns over rising prices, partly due to sustained high crude oil costs and worries about the fiscal burden.
A 69-year-old woman was killed in a robbery at her Tochigi home on May 14th. A 16-year-old boy was arrested on suspicion of robbery and murder, stating he was invited by someone of the same age. Police believe at least 2 other suspects were involved and fled by car.
On May 15th, 23 locations in western Japan recorded over 30 degrees Celsius, the most this year, with Kumamoto at 31.6 degrees Celsius. Hokkaido also saw high temperatures. On May 18th, Kanto is forecast for the first extreme heat day, over 35 degrees Celsius nationwide. Caution against heat stroke is advised for the unaccustomed early summer heat.
The government approved a bill on May 15th to revise the Code of Criminal Procedure, aiming to improve the retrial system for wrongful convictions. This follows cases like Iwao Hakamada, acquitted in 2024. His sister hopes for a complete ban on prosecutor appeals and full evidence disclosure in national discussions.
次は社会のニュースです。
The government approved a bill on May 15th to revise the criminal retrial system, the first change since 1948. It generally prohibits prosecutors from appealing retrial decisions, though exceptions remain. The bill also clarifies evidence disclosure rules and adds penalties for misusing disclosed evidence. This aims to ensure fairness.
The Ministry of the Environment reported increased garbage bag shipments in April. This is due to public concerns over petroleum product distribution amid the Iran situation. Environment Minister Ishihara urged calm consumer behavior, asking people to avoid purchasing more than necessary.
Transport Minister Kaneko addressed the bus accident in Fukushima, which injured or killed 21 high school students. He confirmed the rented microbus was leased under the high school's name. The minister will decide if it was an illegal white bus operation after a full investigation.
Former Hiroshima carp player Ryutaro Hazuki, 26, was found guilty on May 15th for using etomidate called zombie tobacco. He received a 1-year prison sentence, suspended for 3 years. Hazuki admitted using the drug, stating he believed it was legal and continued because other players also used it.
President Trump is holding talks with President Xi Jinping in Beijing. Japan's government is closely monitoring the Taiwan issue. A foreign ministry official saw no major concessions from Trump. However, President Xi's remark that Taiwan is most important for U.S.-China relations is seen as a check on Japan.
The LDP's project team reviewed a draft bill on May 15th to create a national flag desecration crime. It proposed penalties for damaging the Japanese flag, including posting related videos online. However, approval was postponed due to strong opposition and concerns about freedom of expression.
UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk visited Japan on May 15th. He met with families of North Korean abductees. Mr. Turk expressed the UN's commitment to working together for the earliest possible resolution of the issue, showing solidarity with the families.
Authorities have referred the pilot of the crashed U.S. Osprey to prosecutors. The accident off Yakushima resulted in 8 deaths. The pilot faces charges of professional negligence resulting in death. This development comes as investigations into the tragic incident continue.
Takano Foods announced a 15% price increase for about 120 products, including okame natto and tofu. This hike, effective from June 1, is due to soaring costs of petroleum-derived packaging materials. The company stated it can no longer absorb these costs through company efforts alone.
Environment Minister Ishihara again denied on May 15th that an official stated Minamata disease patients were blessed. This follows a victims group insisting the comment was made. The minister stated 4 officials confirmed no such remark. He also noted the group's earlier statement did not recognize the comment.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Japan's Nikkei 225 stock average closed down 1,244 yen at 61,409 yen today. Earlier, it fell over 1,700 yen, dropping below 61,000 yen. In the morning, it rose over 500 yen due to U.S. stock gains. However, profit-taking in AI and semiconductor shares, combined with long-term interest rates exceeding 2.7%, led to the significant decline.
Japan's long-term interest rate for the benchmark 10-year government bond rose to 2.730% on May 15th. This is the highest level in about 29 years since May 1997. The increase is due to concerns over worsening public finances, as the government considers a supplementary budget for fiscal year 2026. High April corporate goods price index also contributed to bond selling.
The Japanese government approved a bill on May 15th to revise the Code of Criminal Procedure. This revision primarily prohibits prosecutors from appealing decisions to start a retrial. The aim is to reform the retrial system, ensuring that court proceedings can be reopened without consistent challenges from the prosecution once a retrial is granted.
Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi will visit Andong, South Korea, on May 19th and 20th to meet President Lee Jae-myung on the 19th. Andong is President Lee's hometown. This meeting continues shuttle diplomacy after their January meeting in Nara, Prime Minister Takaichi's home. They will discuss Middle East affairs, economic cooperation, and other broad issues.
Japan's Digital Minister Matsumoto will host a meeting of relevant ministries next week, on May 18th. This meeting addresses the risk of critical infrastructure being targeted by cyber attacks using advanced AI models developed by U.S. companies. The goal is to discuss and implement immediate countermeasures to protect against these potential threats.
Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party held a meeting on May 15th to draft a bill punishing acts of national flag desecration after reviewing the draft, which included penalties for publicly damaging or displaying damaged flags. Members voiced concerns about excessive regulation. Consequently, the party decided to revise the bill's framework to address these criticisms.
A survey reveals that only about 20% of Japanese companies have established rules for employees' private SNS use. This comes amid a series of flaming incidents, including information leaks caused by staff social media activity. Experts highlight the urgent need for companies to implement clear guidelines to prevent reputational damage and protect sensitive information.
After a period of historically high prices, rice costs are now decreasing. Osaka supermarkets, which saw 5 kilograms bags over 5,000 yen last November, now offer most for around 3,000 yen. A supermarket president reported prices falling since December, with cheaper options appearing in mid-April. He predicts further drops, possibly below 3,000 yen.
Sources reveal that the Japanese government is considering exporting its Type 88 surface-to-ship guided missiles used by the Ground Self-Defense Force to the Philippines. This move, made possible after Japan lifted its ban on exporting lethal weapons in April, aims to strengthen defense cooperation and ties with the Philippines.
A bill to revise the Economic Security Promotion Law and related acts was passed by a majority vote in the House of Representatives Cabinet Committee after some amendments. The revised bill includes establishing a system to support the overseas operations of companies critical to economic security. It covers sectors like information and communication.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Japan's 26-man squad for the North America World Cup has been announced. Players like Yuto Nagatomo, Takehiro Tomiyasu, and Wataru Endo were selected. Kaoru Mitoma and Hidemasa Morita were not chosen. The team aims to reach the top 8 for the first time. Japan's first match in Group F will be against the Netherlands on June 15th.
Kaoru Mitoma will not be part of Japan's 26-man World Cup squad. The manager, Hajime Moriyasu, explained that Mitoma's left thigh injury makes his recovery during the tournament unlikely. Mitoma sustained the injury on May 9th. This is a difficult decision for the team, as Mitoma was a crucial player.
The Hiroshima Toyo Carp baseball team will reinvestigate the use of zombie tobacco, a designated drug, among all its players. This follows former player Ryutaro Hazuki's statement in court that other team members used it. The club's general manager, Kiyoaki Suzuki, confirmed the reinvestigation, which will involve interviews with all players.
Oryx Buffalo's pitcher Shunta Yamashita underwent right elbow ligament surgery in the U.S. on May 13th. He is unlikely to return this season. This is a significant setback for the team, as fellow ace Hiroya Miyagi is also out with a left elbow injury. Yamashita had been dealing with elbow inflammation since March.
Shohei Ohtani was out of the starting lineup for the first time this season in his 44th game as a measure to reduce fatigue. Will Smith played as the designated hitter in his place. The previous day, Ohtani pitched 7 scoreless innings, striking out 8, to earn his 3rd win and lower his ERA to 0.82.
France announced its 26-man squad for the North America World Cup on May 14th. Star players like Kylian Mbappé and Ousmane Dembélé are in the team, but Eduardo Camavinga was not selected. France, a strong contender, aims for another title after winning in 2018 and being runner-up in 2022.
NHK will broadcast all matches of the upcoming Soccer World Cup. All games involving the Japan national team will be shown live. The broadcast schedule will also be available on NHK+. Information on Japan's 26-man squad and group stage opponents is also being highlighted.
Ozeki Ansekini will miss the entire Summer Grand Sumo tournament. His stablemaster, Anjigawa Oyakata, announced that Ansekini aims to return in the next Nagoya tournament. Due to this absence, Ansekini will be demoted from Ozeki to the rank of Sekiweki.
Former baseball managers Tatsunori Hara and Akinobu Okada will co-commentate for the first time. They will provide commentary for the Yomiuri Giants vs. Hanshin Tigers game on May 22nd. Both legends, who previously competed as players and managers, will share their insights on the current teams during the national broadcast.
The PGA Championship, the second men's golf major, began on May 14th in Pennsylvania. Japanese golfer Ryo Hisatsune, 23, made an excellent start, finishing 3 under par to take the lead. Fellow Japanese player Hideki Matsuyama is currently tied for 34th place after the first day.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
U.S. President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping held a summit. Trump stated they discussed Iran, sharing very similar thoughts. Xi called the visit historic. Despite leaders emphasizing stable relations and economic outcomes, public statements showed differences on Taiwan and Iran. Trump invited Xi and his wife to Washington on September 24th.
Following the U.S.-China summit on May 14th, a White House official reported that both nations agreed the Strait of Hormuz should remain open. This consensus was reached amid discussions on the Iran situation. However, despite this agreement, the Strait of Hormuz continues to face instability.
U.S. President Trump concluded 2 days of talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Trump stated they discussed Iran, aiming for a non-nuclear Iran and open Strait of Hormuz. He announced China's promise to buy U.S. soybeans, crude oil, LNG, and 200 Boeing aircraft. Trump called the talks very fruitful, emphasizing pre-midterm election achievements.
A large-scale Russian attack on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, on May 14th, resulted in 21 deaths. An apartment complex was destroyed by missile attacks, and emergency teams are currently removing debris and searching for missing residents. The tragic incident highlights the ongoing conflict in the region.
Russian President Putin announced that the nation's industrial production expanded last year, exceeding pre-invasion levels by 12%. This growth occurred despite economic sanctions imposed after the invasion of Ukraine. Putin's statement aims to demonstrate that the impact of these sanctions has been minimized.
Following the UK ruling party's significant defeat in local elections, the Health and Social Care Minister resigned. He stated a loss of confidence in Prime Minister Starmer, emphasizing the need for a new leader. This resignation highlights the growing focus on a potential leadership contest within the party.
U.S. health authorities are monitoring 41 people for possible Andes-type hantavirus infection. This includes passengers from a cruise ship where 3 people died. No domestic U.S. infections are confirmed in the U.S. yet. Those under surveillance are advised to self-isolate at home for 6 weeks.
A federal jury in New York found Jianwang Liu, 64, guilty of acting as a foreign government agent. He operated a police station in Manhattan under Chinese authorities, collecting information on democratic activists. The verdict, announced by the Justice Department, could lead to a 30-year prison sentence.
On May 15th, Nakba Day, Palestinians in the Gaza Strip held events calling for their return to their homeland. Nakba Day commemorates the displacement of Palestinians after Israel's establishment in 1948. This highlights the ongoing conflict over land and refugee rights in the region.
The U.S. Department of Defense canceled the deployment of approximately 4,000 troops to Poland. This follows an earlier announcement to withdraw 5,000 U.S. troops from Germany. Concerns are growing that these actions could weaken U.S. military deterrence in Europe, given Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Author Aiko Sato, known for Tatakai Sundehi ga Kurete and the best-selling essay Kyujusai, Nani ga Meditai, What's So Great About Being 90, died on April 29th at 1:02. Her famous essay was adapted into a movie. Sato continued publishing new works even after turning 100.
An unreleased song by legendary singer Hibari Mizora was discovered, the first in 17 years, titled Futari Kiride. It was recorded on February 10, 1956, when she was 18. It features her youthful voice. The track will be released on June 24th as part of an anniversary box and as a digital single.
A Tokyo farewell party honored Luna Sei drummer Shinya, who passed away in February at 56. His wife, Aya Ishiguro, remembered him as a very kind person who smiled through his illness. Shinya was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2020. The band's national tour is scheduled to begin in late May.
Anka singer Kaori Kozai, 62, announced on May 15th that she underwent surgery for early-stage breast cancer. She was safely discharged after 2 weeks and is now focused on recovery. The surgery took place on April 30th. Kozai plans to resume activities at an Osaka event on May 17th.
Many spring TV dramas are failing to generate buzz, with public interest already shifting to summer shows like TBS's Vivant. The underperformance of TBS's Sunday theater, usually a ratings leader, is a key factor. While some spring dramas show promise, Vivant has started early promotions, building strong anticipation.
The Devil Wears Prada 2, sequel to the 2006 hit, opened May 1 to global success. With original cast, it explores media industry changes and modern work values. Reactions are mixed, praise for updated perspectives, but also criticism of its ending and portrayal of industry realities.
A comedian's bullying confession sparked speculation about Savannah's Shigeo Takahashi. His partner, Masumi Yagi, quickly confirmed involvement on X, apologizing and taking duo responsibility. Yagi's swift crisis management, acknowledging the accuser's feelings and Takahashi's role, was praised for calming the situation.
The government approved a Copyright Act amendment on May 15th, creating a new record performance and transmission right. This ensures singers and performers receive fees when their music is used as BGM in commercial facilities. Currently, only lyricists and composers get paid. Japan is one of the few OECD countries lacking this system.
Noto Airport will be renamed Pokemon Airport from July for 3 years, becoming the world's first. The Pokemon With You Foundation is assisting earthquake reconstruction efforts. This aims to attract fans and boost tourism in the Noto region. The airport will feature 111 flying-type Pokemon and sell original merchandise.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。